recording. So there's a switch in the back to turn it
Yeah,
on.
it's right up here. It's a toggle switch.
Alright.
And then,
You guys explain to me how to do bolt pattern today?
yeah, I'll show you both pattern. It's, once you see it, it's easy. And we'll look at a couple other things.
Alright.
Yeah, it takes a minute for it to
Crank up.
yeah.
How long has you had this machine in?
I think this machine, I think he got this unit put on this machine in, I think it was like 1993.
Didn't take too much to put on it?
No, they,
Fairly easy conversion?
yeah, they came out and did it.
Uh-huh.
They put ball screws in the machine. They put these readers on. You know, they put this bar on. And there's another reader like this on the back of the table or right over in the corner. They put this on. And there's a computer.
So it was just a regular Bridgeport
It
before?
was just a regular Bridgeport, yeah. They did it. The guy did it in in a day.
Oh yeah?
Yeah,
Pretty good.
yeah, they know what they're doing, and I don't think they, at the time, and even now, I don't think they retrofit too many different machines. I think they put it on a Bridgeport, and they put it on maybe a Lagoon or something like that, and that's about the ones they do, you know.
Yeah.
Either that or they sell you into the whole machine.
Never know.
When it comes up, it'll see this. You'll see this. There's a menu. DRO is digital readout. You put it on there, and you can keep track of things. This is where you would go to set your zeros. You know, if you picked up your part, let's say you had something round in there and you picked it up. And
You pick up it with the edge finder
With
and
the
then
edge
you zero
finder.
it out.
Yep.
And find the edge of the piece.
right. You'd go to you'd go to DRO, and then you would say, let's say you picked up your part, you like it. You'd hit X0, set, absolute set, Y0, absolute set. I usually don't, see how this says incremental?
Yeah.
Usually don't use it in incremental. The first thing I generally do is switch it over to absolute. You'll see absolute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And let's say you picked up your part, you know, whatever, and you liked it there. And from here you go X0, absolute set, Y0, absolute set. And now that's where that is. That's where it thinks the part is. Remember when I told you, like that machine there, when you and a lot of these CNCs, when you start them up, they do that zero return, so they know where they are. This machine here, if you shut it off, it loses its zero. It'll keep the program in it. No, that's not true either. You can store the program in it, but up front where you're kind of running the program, it'll lose it. So it's just kind of a machine you use today, you know.
Right.
And if you're going to run the same program tomorrow, you store it and you make sure you have it, and then tomorrow you come in, start it up, pick the part up again. You know. Or just leave the machine on and hope the power don't go out while you're, overnight, the power don't blink or something. In this digital readout, there's a few things. There's this jog. You hit jog, and it will give you this 100 inches per minute, and it lets you run the table back and forth.
Okay.
You can slow it down
Just by hitting the X or the Y?
just by hitting the X or the Y. If you hit it and you're going one way and you want to go the other, you hit the minus button. And it reverses direction, right? Oh, Jesus, watch out. I'm sorry. And the same thing with the Y.
Okay.
and you can slow it down by hitting this feed rate button. You can make it go slower.
Okay.
There's also this power feed, and the difference between the jog and the power feed is you just tell it. You don't have to hold the button. Let's say I want a power feed. Let's say I had a block in here and I was just milling the top. You know, I'd get over here to where I was off the part, and let's say I knew it was 10 inches would get me.
10 inches of travel?
10 inches of travel, let's say. I'd hit the power feed, and let's say I wanted to go that way. I just tell it X minus 10, and I'd hit the incremental. And then hit go, and it'll feed 10 inches from where it is now.
Okay.
It isn't looking for 10 inches from absolute or anything like that. It's just going 10 inches from wherever you are now.
Okay.
And you can adjust that feed rate up or down.
Now, is this the same way as the other machine over there where it has to feed uphill? Climb?
Yes, yeah. Generally I try to do that.
Climb milling as
Climb milling.
opposed to conventional.
Right. So I don't know how far this will go, but that's basically your power feed.
And that's the countdown now. That's where it is on.
Yeah. This here, I guess, is where it is in relation to the absolute zero. But if you go to incremental,
It's just finished.
it will count down. You'll see it count
you'll
down.
see the countdown.
Right. Let's say this. Let's go the other way.
So let's say I wanted to stop it
Right.
in the middle of the track.
Right.
The cutter got messed up and I had to stop it. And I'd be able to reference that point.
And start back up again.
Yeah.
Sure. And in this case, this incremental is like a distance to go,
Okay.
kind of.
And if we switch back to ABS, absolute, it's the same.
Yeah, that is counting. That is relative to your what you called zero. This absolute is. If I stop it here, I'm like 2 inches 489 from X zero. Yeah, but here in this case, I don't really care where it is.
Right.
It's just kind of nice to know when you're feeding. Well, yeah, I got 4 inches to go. Yeah, it'll be off the part.
Just visual reference.
Just visual reference. Have a good idea where it's going to be here. And,
Okay.
this do one. You hit do one, and you can program in one event. Let's say I'll put this mill. I want to start where I am. What it does is it lets you program one event. Like if you were, I don't use it much, to be honest with you. If you were running a job and you had another program in there that you were running, and John came over and said, "Hey, can you put a bolt pattern in this part here?" I could say, "Sure." I could stop it. I could go to the do one, and I could program a bolt hole.
Okay.
And do it, and it wouldn't throw my other
It
program
wouldn't
out.
interrupt the other program.
Right.
Okay.
In this return to absolute zero, if you hit that, check your Z,
Make sure it's out of the way.
make sure it's out of the way, and then hit go, and it'll return to the point that we called absolute zero.